Today we're going from Sandwich to Rockport. Could take us like all day. That's what I do now. Even though it's like this far on the map, it's gonna be like all day.
We use my dad for like our flow plans, and I kind of sort of forgot to sort of file with him yesterday. Oops. So I'm just gonna send him a text message with that information before we head out. It's early, but he's usually up, so thanks, Dad.
Today is a trek of 55 nautical miles, and with an average of about 4 knots while under sail, we think it'll take us anywhere from 10 to 13 hours.
iPad's dead. We didn't plug it in last night.
Problems with iPad navigation.
This is fine. This is fine.
That's the one that doesn't hold a charge, though, while it's running.
This is fine. No, it's not. No, we're not doing this.
He thinks he's going to shore by dinghy, but
You've already done ashore by the paw.
we're at a dock, and he has already been ashore. He's so routine oriented, it's hysterical.
There's a whale! Slow down! There's a whale! Did you see it? Probably not. Let's zoom in. There it is!
We're gonna drastically change our plans. Instead of heading up to Rockport tonight, we're gonna head up to go through the night and either go to Portland or Booth Bay. The reasons being there's a front coming through Wednesday night, Thursday, and the spots that we had picked out to stay, Isla Shoals and or Kittery, aren't that great for that wind direction. So our best course of action at this point is to either stay at Rockport till like Friday, or enjoy the really nice conditions tonight and sail on up. So we're gonna do that. It's supposed to be 5 to 10 tonight from the south, and then switching around to the west. Two more twos, and then switch to fours overnight. Because we tried twos at night, and it's just not enough time to fall asleep and get any meaningful sleep. On a side note, we were in Boston officially. Someone told somebody to suck somebody else's on the radio, so we are officially in Boston.
We are really close to entering the traffic separation zone for Boston, which means that we need to turn the engine back on so that we can get through that as quickly as possible. Because we're not really supposed to be there, or we're not really supposed to, we can cut across, but we're supposed to do it as quickly as possible. And 3.5 knots is not as quickly as possible. So the engine's gonna have to come back on here just to get us across that zone, and then we will hopefully be cutting it back down and sailing for most of the rest of the day, which would be awesome. So best laid plans hearts are made in sand, I guess. We are changing our minds again, and we are going to go to Rockport. There's a decent number of squalls popping up up in Maine, like in southern Maine right now, and it's looking like it's potentially going to be that way into the overnight, and just not interested in dealing with thunderstorms overnight when we don't have to. We are in absolutely no hurry. So we're just gonna pop in. We called the harbor master's office, and they said that they will, quote, make something work for us to get us in. And we should be there in about an hour, maybe a little bit less than that.
So I believe the true issue here is I changed the jar plotter from Rockport to Booth Bay. The second I did that, that adverse weather report rolled right in. So I jinxed us.
That's definitely what happened, and not Mother Nature just rearing her ugly head.
Superstition, the way it rolls.
We don't have any bananas on board, do we?
No bananas. I almost bought bananas, but I was like, nope, not buying bananas.
The moorings in here are fore and aft high, which we've never done before, and I've actually never seen done before. So this could be really interesting. But the harbor master is coming out to like help us in. So, but it's tight in here, but it's very, very cool.
First time I've done this like bow and stern mooring thing. Like this is crazy. Like there's like a line strung up between it, and you gotta like pick up stern floats at the same time you're picking up bow floats.
And there's two
pendants on the stern and then 2 pendants on the bow. And luckily the one of the harbor master,
the yacht club launch driver came and
yeah,
helped.
the launch driver jumped in the boat to help us. He's like, "Can I come aboard and help you?" I'm like, "Yes, please." Please jump on. Tell me what to do.
Because we
have no idea.
This is easily one of the cutest harbors I have ever seen. It's so cute. We are super glad that we didn't continue on to Maine because we woke up at 1 a.m. to 35 knot winds and a radar that looked like this. Rockport is a tiny harbor at the easternmost point of Cape Ann. It is protected by an inner and outer breakwater, so unless the wind or swell is coming east-northeast, it's very protected. The town itself is charming with lots of art galleries and restaurants, and the Sandy Bay Yacht Club was so welcoming. We just stumbled upon a really great real-world example of what we talk about when we talk about like things just kind of being a little bit more logistically challenging on a boat. When we came from Sandwich to Rockport, we had a ton of like biting flies in the cockpit, and I have a ton of bites like all over my legs, all over my ankles. They were even getting me through my like pretty thick leggings all day long. So yesterday, the day after this, I looked down at my leg and I have a pretty decent like 2x2 size big red hot bump on my leg. And it's gross. It is pretty classic cellulitis. So last night I like marked it to see if it made it any bigger. I took some Benadryl to see if it was going to come down. And then I started kind of researching what my options were on how to see a doctor because I knew I was probably going to need an antibiotic. So closest walk-in care, like 4 miles away, or urgent care, 4 miles away. So I decided to try telehealth through our insurance company, which worked fantastic because we were really unsure how we were going to get to urgent care. There's no public transport, there's no car. We were either going to have to bike or walk. He's calling me an antibiotic prescription. So then the next issue is that our insurance company's telehealth system would only let me input a pharmacy that was also 4 miles away in Gloucester. So I talked to the doc and they were able to override the system and call something in to the Walgreens here in Rockport, which is about a mile away, which is much better. And we are going to go walk and get that this afternoon. It's not like as easy as just calling the doctor's office and figuring it out. But telehealth, super, super useful. It was one of the reasons we signed up for this particular health insurance was that we were allowed to use telehealth in other states than our home state. So I just had to tell them what state I was in. One other small logistical challenge to this particular antibiotic is that you are not supposed to be in the sun with it because it can make your sunburns definitely worse. So I am basically going to be like head to toe UV gear for the next 10 days, tons of sunscreen. I'm going to have to pick up some like SPF 75 or something while we're at the pharmacy. So for all of my exposed areas, because Lord knows that avoiding the sun when you live on a boat is pretty much impossible. So we got my prescription. We got a few groceries. We got some extra strong 100 SPF sunscreen. And we're headed back to the boat.
This is a typical arrangement if we have the hammock out. Gwen's in the hammock and the dog also decides the hammock, but also decides Gwen is part of the hammock.
He's been so good until you came up, and now he just wants to he wants your attention. So now
Does he just need pats?
Here, see, look, he was reaching for you. He's been just laying here, just watching the world go by.
This is a normal afternoon activity for these two. Hang in the hammock.
Even with my infection, we were still able to spend most evenings exploring town and eating ice cream. Andy was super excited when he realized we could get Domino's delivered.
We have thoroughly enjoyed our time here in Rockport. This is one of the cutest little harbors we've ever been to, and it's a little quirky, and we love it. It is exactly what I needed because we haven't had a good stop like this in so long. And taking a couple days in a place like this is exactly why we cruise in the first place. So it has been a great stop, and we are going to head to bed early so that we can get up tomorrow and make our last leg to Maine. So we will see you in the next episode.